What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 Heisman candidates going in the next college football season. I've got about 5 honorable mentions, and then we'll get into my top 10. While we're moving along, go ahead and join me down in the comment section. Let me know who your Heisman candidates are. Is there anybody I missed on the list? Who would you add to this list? All that stuff, let me know. And if you're new here, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more. All right, so go ahead and get in my honorable mentions here. We've got 5 names here. Garrett, Greene, West Virginia quarterback. I think he's going to have a really good season. All right, really good dual threat guy. If you have not watched him play, go watch his highlights. He's pretty entertaining. West Virginia has got a chance to be pretty competitive in the Big 12. Now, to win the Heisman, you've got to be a pretty good football team as well. So just because you're good, if your team's not very good, you're probably not going to win the Heisman. But West Virginia has a chance to kind of sneak into that upper tier of Big 12 play this year. Next up, Joey Aguilar, quarterback, Appalachian State. Similar to Garrett Greene, pretty good dual threat guy here. Joey Aguilar, like I said, plays for Appalachian State. They've kind of got a tough schedule. They play Liberty, they play Clemson, but if they can somehow win both of those games, they could end up being the G5 representative in the college football playoff. And if that happens, it'll be because of Joey Aguilar. Next up, Luther Burden, wide receiver at Missouri. Missouri should be pretty good this year. Cody Schrader is gone at running back, so they're going to have to open it up a little more in the passing game. So look for Brady Cook to throw it to Luther Burden a lot more. He's an All-American. If he has an awesome year, if Missouri somehow goes undefeated, you could see Luther Burden sneak into that Heisman race. Next up, Kyle Monunga, running back at Rutgers. Rutgers is going to be really good this year. I think they have a really favorable schedule. They avoid a lot of the tough teams in the Big Ten. They really have a chance to win probably two losses, 1 losses, potentially even go undefeated, to be honest with you. And if they do, it's going to be a big reason because of Kyle Monunga. Led the Big Ten in rushing last season. Now, if they somehow go undefeated and Kyle Monunga is healthy throughout the year, he'll be a Heisman finalist. All right, last but not least here, another running back, Ashton, running back at Boise State, really good dual threat guy, can catch it out of the backfield, can run it out of the backfield, can do a lot of different things. They should be really good this year, and if they do, Ashton Jeanty would be a big reason why. All right, starting at number 10, Jaxson Dart. Ole Miss quarterback, their running back, Quinshon Judkins, is gone, so Jaxson Dart's going to have to do a little more, and they should be really good. Last season, 3,364 yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns, and like I said, there's going to be a lot more asked of him this year than last year, so his numbers should probably only go up, and Ole Miss is going to be even better. All right, number 9, Cam Rising, coming back from injury. Utah quarterback. All right, in 2022, his last full season, 3,034 yards, 26 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns. Utah is one of the co-favorites for me in the Big 12, so if they can go undefeated, Cam Rising is going to be the main reason why. So you could see him sneak into New York. All right, number 8, Cam Ward, transferring to Miami from Washington State. Miami should be really good this season. I think this is Mario Cristobal's most talented team yet, whether it's at Oregon, whether it's at Miami. Last season at Washington State, Cameron Ward, 3,735 yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns, and he should have a lot better weapons here. For example, at running back, he's got Damian Martinez. At wide receiver, you got Xavier Restrepo. He's going to have a lot of weapons to work with at Miami. Number 7, Seth Henigan. All right, so a name you might not know. He is the Memphis quarterback. Memphis, as of right now, is my G5 representative in the college football playoff. Last season, really impressive stats, almost 4,000 yards passing, 32 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, They play Florida State in the non-conference. If he can really show out on a big stage in that game, his reputation is going to blow up. All right, number 6, Ollie Gordon. Oklahoma State running back. Last season, really good stats, 1,732 yards, 21 touchdowns, 6.1 yards per carry. Oklahoma State with Utah is my co-favorite right now in the Big 12. Now, if Oklahoma State goes undefeated, Ollie Gordon will definitely be the reason why and be a potential finalist. Next up, Kaidon Salter, Liberty quarterback. Really good dual threat guy here, almost 3,000 passing yards, over 1,000 rushing yards, 44 total touchdowns. So this guy gets on the board, whether it's yards, whether it's touchdowns. He's going to put up some stellar stats. Liberty's going to be good again. Kaidon Salter, a big reason why. All right, number 4. So we've got a clear top 4 here, in my opinion. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot. I would throw Ollie Gordon for sure in that top 6 range, but other than that, you kind of go up and down on a lot of people. But number 4 is clear, in my opinion, of those top 4. Quinn Ewers, all right, Texas quarterback. Last season, 3,479 yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns. They lose a lot of production besides Quinn Ewers, so he's going to have to do a little more, I think. He's going to have different weapons. All right, Isaiah Bond comes in to replace, Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Jordan Whittington, J.T. Sanders. They lose a ton from last year. So if those guys can step up, Quinn Ewers should have a really good year. Texas should be really good. Number 3, Carson Beck. Similar situation. All right, he loses a lot of his guys. Brock Bowers is gone. Ladd McConkey's gone. Really good stats last year from Carson Beck, like better numbers than you might expect. Because when you think of Georgia, you really don't think of a lot of passing yards, but Carson Beck blew it up. Almost 4,000 yards passing last year, 24 touchdowns, 167.9 passer rating. As of right now, they are my favorite in the SEC, so Carson Beck should put up really good numbers once again. Our number 2, Jalen Milroe, Alabama quarterback, last season, 2,834 yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns. Really good dual threat guy. In my opinion, arguably the best player on the field at all times as far as athlete-wise, for sure. Alabama had a bad offensive line last year. They improved that a little bit. Now, Kalen DeBoer comes over from Washington as the head coach. We saw what he was capable of doing with Michael Penix Jr., so I'm curious to see how Jalen Milroe does in his offense. We know Jalen Milroe can run. He can't really throw as good as probably Michael Penix Jr. can, but if they can improve that over the offseason, Jalen Milroe is going to have an awesome year this year. All right, and number 1, we've got Dillon Gabriel at Oregon, transferring over from Oklahoma. 3,360 passing yards last year, 30 passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns. So think of what Bo Nix did at Oregon, the numbers he put up. I think Dillon Gabriel is even better than Bo Nix. And we saw the numbers Dillon Gabriel put up at Oklahoma, We saw what he did at UCF. So imagine what he's going to do in that Oregon offense. I think it's going to be pretty outstanding. I think right now he's the clear number 1 for the Heisman race. I think those top 2 are probably the top 2. And like I said, those top 4 are almost for certain. But is there anybody I missed on this list? Who would you add to this list? Who would you move up? Who would you move down? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.